Well, the Dream Team are back together. Bananarama have announced today that they are reforming the original lineup of Sarah Dallin, Siobhan Fahey and Karen Woodward, and they're hitting the road for a reunion tour later this year, including a date at St David's Hall in Cardiff. And they're with me now. Well, hello, ladies.
Hiya. Hey, Eleri.
This is so exciting.
I know.
Is so exciting. So how excited are you, Siobhan?
I'm beyond. I just feel like I'm going to burst.
So does this feel like the 80s all over again, Karen?
It does.
Yeah?
It's genuinely like we've never been apart.
Really?
Yeah.
But Sarah and Karen, we should say you've been Bananarama the whole time as a trio and a duo, haven't you?
Yes.
But Siobhan, this is your first proper full-time return since 1988.
That's right.
So come on then, what's brought you all back together?
Well, our friendship, really. And we started to hang out more in the last couple of years, and, you know, it was, the old magic was rekindled. And
Yeah. Did you hang out over bottles of Prosecco?
We had a great night out in LA at a club called Giorgio's that played all this 70s and 80s music. We had such a great time there, and I just think the idea kind of came from that, really.
Yeah, and you're hitting the road for a tour. And I was surprised in learning that this would be the first time all three of you will have toured together ever.
It's crazy, I know.
So why is that then, Sarah?
Well, when we started, it was the sort of beginning of MTV, so we were sort of shipped all around the world, and videos kind of did the touring thing for us, really. So the record company weren't that interested in us touring, since they could get mileage out of us from, you know, the videos and things. So it's something we always wanted to do, and we did sort of rehearse a couple of times, but then Siobhan got pregnant, then Karen got pregnant, and it kind of didn't happen.
Right. Okay. So, but you've been performing, you and Karen, you know, the hits for years.
Which is brilliant.
Well, exactly. So you've kept it all going. The fire is still alive, obviously. But Siobhan, you would not have sung...
the home fires burning.
Oh, you can see I'm Welsh, can't you? But Siobhan, you would not have sung songs like I Want You Back, or, of course, the comic relief single Help.
That's right.
Do I need to start testing you now?
I'm not sure she'll know any of the ones she sang on.
I know. My memory's not what it was.
It's so exciting then to be singing these new tracks as well, aren't they? For you, but not for Karen and Sarah.
Well, it's still exciting for us because it's a completely different thing to what we've been doing. And we had a rehearsal over the weekend because we're performing Venus on a TV. And it was just like it was back in the day, and we booked a huge amount of studio time, and we're done in about 10 minutes because it just works.
Yeah. And
the old magic.
Yeah, well, exactly. You're saying as well with this tour that it's a one-time only thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes?
Yes.
But what if you all love the experience?
Well, then we'll do it again.
Yeah? All right. That's fair enough.
Well, I'm hoping that, you know, that we're doing this major tour in the UK, and hopefully we'll then get to travel the world in the way that Sarah and I did just after Siobhan left, but we'll do it all together.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
That would be the best thing.
That's the dream.
Yes.
And more new music then?
Well, we're hoping
Perhaps.
to do some new music. We haven't started yet, and it's all been a bit in usual Bananarama style.
Yeah.
Not planned with enough time up front in order to get an album together, but we're really hoping to get in and record a couple of tracks, yes.
We're very impetuous.
So you're as cool as ever. That's what you're saying, Karen.
Really
yes.
cool. Yes.
It's incredible to think that you're in the Guinness Book of Records mind as the all-female group with the most chart entries in the world, bearing in mind all these female groups that have come since you. How ambitious were you when you started out as a trio, Sarah?
Well, not at all. Karen and I were like 18, 19. We just thought, we made a demo and somebody got to hear about it, and then the Funboy 3 bought that single and asked us to sing on their album, and we just started having like top 5 hits. So it's kind of like we had the right idea, we were the right sort of people in the right place at the right time. I just think it caught the imagination of the public, and I don't think there were any other female groups at the time, particularly ones that, you know, we wrote our own material and were very much in control of what we were doing, but it was never, as we always say, there was no big long-term plan. It just seemed to keep happening for us, which was fantastic.
We weren't really driven by ambition so much as just the love of music and
Yeah.
performing.
And Siobhan, so do you remember the day you met Karen and Sarah for the first
I
time?
remember the first day I met Sarah was the first day of we were both at college at the London College of Fashion doing fashion journalism,
Right.
and I picked her out immediately because she was dressed similarly to me, and no one else was.
Like what then? Take us back.
We had monkey boots,
Right.
long, spiky, crimped hair. We both loved Patti Smith, and we just had that same sense of humour and so lust for life.
Yeah. So that all makes sense now then, that you were attracted in that way. But, you know, the looks that you had back in the 80s, you know, the big hair, the back combing, the dungarees, the T-shirts. So did you three come up with that look, or did record labels try and mould
no.
you? No? No. They wouldn't dare.
Our look was always what we happened to be wearing at the time, you know, and it's
Straight
just sort
off the
of-
street and
yes.
onto the stage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When
Yeah,
you
we-
look at girl bands now then, do you think, oh gosh, look at them.
Well,
They've made
everything's
such
about
an effort.
everything's about branding now, and you sell your brand, so fashion houses get involved, and that's not how it was for us.
We used
in
to
the
make our
80s.
own clothes half the time.
Did you? Well,
Yes.
obviously, if you've went to college to study fashion journalism, so come on then. What was the one outfit you think that would have maybe stood out that people would remember that you did make?
Well, we used
The
all this.
African print.
We had the wide trousers we used to make. We used to make dresses
Knitted
out
vests.
of fabric and run them up on my grandma's sewing machine. Yes, we
Baggy
knitted.
trousers.
They looked like sort of two dishcloths sewn together. That was quite a good
And
look.
we always wore sort of DMs, Dr. Martens and like creepers and things,
Yeah.
which are very fashionable now. You know, my
Yeah.
daughter has creepers and DMs and wears all my World's End stuff.
What do your children think then that you're getting back together and
Well,
going
they
to be
love it
touring?
because they weren't born
Around,
when we
yeah.
were huge, so they're so excited.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet. So, for pure nostalgia, will the dungarees and the back-combed big hair return for the tour?
Not the back-combed hair, I
No.
don't think.
Well, I don't know. I might go for a bit of that. Might make it look thicker. Might just have a back-combed wig to put on.
Oh, that
Make
would be
life so
pretty
much
cool.
easier.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be funny. Just come on then, just a throwback to the 80s.
Yes.
Just for one track, maybe. Well, listen, I've seen pictures of you now, and the three of you look, may I say, as young and beautiful as you did look back in the 80s. You have aged beautifully. Listen, we need to hear one of your songs, and we'll do that after we have a travel update. Eleri Sion with you here on BBC Radio Wales. My special guest this afternoon are Bananarama, who have just announced today that they are reuniting. The original trio, Sarah, Siobhan and Karen, are back, and they are still with me.
Oh, yes.
And we just heard Robert De Niro there. Okay, that's the track we just played. And that was obviously one of your biggest hits. You all co-wrote that. So tell us why Robert De Niro. Were you actually hoping he was waiting for you?
Well, he was.
Yes, we
was.
did go out with him.
transpired.
Yeah, come on, tell us about that episode.
Well, I think he was filming over in London, and I guess the PRs sort of contacted him and asked if he wanted to meet us, and he phoned us up in our council flat, and Siobhan, I think, answered, or
On
my
our
boyfriend
payphone.
answered. And said, we were watching Brookside, and then my boyfriend came in and said, Bob De Niro's on the phone. And we were like, don't be ridiculous. So we're like, sure, you go. None of us wanted to answer the phone.
So it was about a 5-minute argument. We left him hanging.
And then he just invited us out for a drink. So it was great. We had a great night.
Oh my gosh, it was simple. Did you have to have a few sherry binks before you
Yes,
actually
yes,
met
we
him?
did.
Were you
Yes,
drunk
we did.
meeting him?
No.
No,
but
okay.
we'd had a
all our
couple.
boyfriends and all our male friends were huge fans of like The Godfather and Taxi Driver, and they all wanted to see him. So we met him in a sort of cocktail bar, and all our friends sort of dotted around the room, one at the bar, two at a table, one near the door, all because they wanted to said we can't sit with us, we've
Oh,
got to
that's
meet him on our
funny.
own, but they were all in the place.
How brilliant. So
Yeah.
you did sort of keep him waiting. But is it true that it was another film star which was originally meant to be waiting?
Well, it was the toss-up between him and Al Pacino, but his name sang better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been trying to do Al Pacino's.
No, it's not quite.
No, it's not the same. But no, you had so many hits in the early 80s, of course. Hotline to Heaven, Rough Justice, Cruel Summer. But for pop songs, there was quite a strong social conscience to your music. And do you still have that fire, Siobhan?
Yeah, I think we're all quite sensitive and caring people, actually. So I think, you know, I don't know if it'll come through lyrically if we write now.
Yeah.
I couldn't say, but it might do.
I think you tend to just write about your experiences and what's going on in your life at the moment. So if you're at a low ebb, that's what comes out, and if you're having fun, that's what comes out.
And
So
I think the tour is like a celebration of that period of time, and it's about fun. So the tour, when people come, it's going to be like a great party night out.
Oh, it's going to be brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously you've got a tour lined up, but I sense there's going to be dates added to this tour.
Oh, I hope
I
so.
hope so.
Yes. Yes, it's going to happen,
yes,
isn't
more
it?
the merrier.
Yeah. But I am going to take you back to 88 then. And, you know, you had success internationally, not only here in the UK. And, you know, bearing in mind everything you touched turned to gold in the fans' eyes then. But Siobhan, what made you walk away?
Well, I think I was just like creatively feeling pulled in a different direction. The band was going ultra pop, and it was a brilliant pop album. Wow, I think, you know, it was fantastic. I was just at a point in my life where I just wanted to excavate my darker side.
Yes.
And obviously I couldn't do that in Bananarama.
Right.
And my life was going in a different direction personally as well.
Yeah.
So just, you know, life's about episodes and phases.
And how hard was it then, watching each other take a different direction? How hard was it for you, Sarah and Karen, watching Siobhan, you know, becoming Shakespeare's sister, of course, and vice versa?
Well, we went on to do her world tour, so we were very busy and still, you know, it was the height of our
Were you
fame,
ignoring
so
her, basically?
No,
ignoring her
not
success?
at all. Not at all. But, you know, our lives took different paths, and we were very busy doing our own thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think. I mean, I can't pretend that there was we weren't the best of friends for a few years after Siobhan left Bananarama, but the last few years, every time we've got together, we've just sort of. It's like we've never been apart, really, and it just you sort of start to wonder how we could have spent so long away from each
life's
other,
so
because it
short,
seems
you
so
know.
natural to be back together in the same place.
Oh, that's good, isn't
Yeah.
it? That is good. And I've got to ask you then, before you leave us, what is your ultimate Bananarama moment? Is there one highlight that has stayed with the three of you?
I think the most exciting time when you're that young was when Cruel Summer was top 10 in America.
Yeah.
And we wanted to film the video in New York because none of us had been to the States. And for it to go top 10 was just fantastic, unbelievable.
And it was a hot summer as well, wasn't it, when you were recording
it
that
was.
video?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, we'll play out with that particular track then, if
Thank
you don't
you.
mind. Listen, it's been, you know, lots of bands reunite and they come back, but this is exciting.
It's very
Thanks,
special.
This is
It's very
really
special.
exciting. Sarah, Siobhan and Karen, thanks very much for reuniting.
thanks for having us.
Bananarama. And if you ever need an extra bod, Eleri is available as well.
Good to know, Eleri.
All
Brush
right.
up the routines.
Indeed. But it's been great having you on the show today. Remember, this is a one-off tour, and you can see them perform Cardiff St David's Hall Monday the 27th of November. Before that, you can pop over the border to Manchester on the 17th of November at the O2 Apollo, Bristol Colston Hall on the 22nd of November, and then at the Barclaycard Arena in Birmingham on the 23rd of November. Take care, ladies.
Thank you very much.